Have you ever questioned the reasons behind the events in your life? Or perhaps you've been looking for a greater meaning and purpose but haven't been able to pinpoint it. If so, relax, you're not the only one. We all long for a meaningful existence, yet sometimes it can seem like we're lost in a maze with no way out. Fortunately, there is a theory that can assist explain life's puzzles and direct you on your journey. The term synchronicity was created by renowned psychologist Carl Jung. It alludes to those events that appear to be coincidental but are fact closely related. Consider it the universe's way of telling you to pay attention. Hey, pay attention. This is crucial. We can start to understand the wider picture and unearth the hidden patterns that will lead us to a life full of meaning, purpose, and joy when we learn to recognize and accept synchronicity. Jerome is a prime example. He was going through a difficult time and began to think seriously about changing careers. He came across an article about a career opportunity one day that seemed like it was made just for him. As if that weren't enough, he ran into an old acquaintance later that day who just so happened to work for the same business and was gushing about how much she liked it there. You might be asking how synchronicity can be experienced in your personal life at this point. The first stage, then, is to increase your awareness of your thoughts and feelings. Don't discount your gut instincts and pay heed to them. They might be attempting to communicate something crucial to you. Be open to new encounters and relationships as another way to spot synchronicity. The most amazing chances can occasionally be found in the most unlikely places. So get out, make new friends, and enjoy life's little surprises. You can begin observing synchronicity right away by maintaining a synchronicity notebook, so there's no need to wait. Every day, set aside some time to write down any significant synchronicities or links you find in your life. You'll eventually start to see trends and themes that may be able to direct you on your quest for meaning and purpose. So now you are aware that synchronicity might serve as a kind of unnoticed tutor in life. But you might be surprised to learn that the idea has a scientific foundation. There is evidence to show that synchronicity is anchored in reality, and that you can use its potential to meaningfully affect your life, so it's not just some random, mystical idea. Let's get to know Anya so we can examine the scientific foundations of synchronicity. She's rushing to get to a Broadway show, so she needs to get on a train. She is aware that if she misses the train, she would be late and the performance won't start. She is presented with decisions and interactions that could have an impact at every stage of her journey. Should she use the escalator or the stairs? Which entrance queue will move more quickly? She hears the train approaching the station as she pays for her ticket. She will never succeed, right? Well, maybe not always. Let's imagine that Anya decides to dash for the train in the vain hope that she will make it. She's raising the likelihood of a successful outcome by doing so. Anya might board the train and make it to the theater in time if a chance occurs, like a bike getting jammed and the subway door causes a delay. But the real question is, if Anya attempts to make the train, does the fortunate coincidence of the biker being trapped become more likely? Here, it is suggested that it does. And here is where synchronicity enters the picture. Synchronicity implies that we have access to all outcomes of a situation at any given time. When we take action, we select the potential outcomes and mark those that would correspond with the experience we anticipate. By doing this, we define what is important to us and influence the likelihood of the possible outcomes. It seems as though we are improving our chances. Consider the case of chemist Barnett Rosenberg, who by chance found the anti-cancer medication cisplatin while researching how an electric current affects bacterial growth. By chance, he was using platinum electrodes, which corroded and produced the compound that saved his life. The discovery might not have been made if he had utilized gold or any other material. A crucial advancement in the treatment of cancer resulted from this synchronistic occurrence. What does this entail for you, then? It implies that you may be able to boost the likelihood of meaningful coincidences, those synchronistic happenings that assist you in reaching your objectives while you're in the zone and intensely involved in something. It appears as though the universe is reacting to your decisions in some way. This gives you the ability to have an impact on the environment around you. It's an intriguing idea, to put it mildly. Getting into the flow. Those times when everything just seems to come together are ones that we have all had before. You are giving the activity your all and giving it your best effort. It feels amazing, am I right? It turns out that you don't have to wait for those great moments to happen. Instead, you can build them. The idea of flow is this. It's that enthralling condition where everything seems to fall into place and you're immersed in an activity. It might have happened to you as you were engaged in a project, an activity, or even a fantastic book. It seems as though you are riding a wave of good vibes and are completely in the moment. You may unlock a reservoir of potential within yourself by practicing flow, which will help you live a life that is more purposeful and rewarding. Fortunately, there's a quick technique you can use to strengthen your connection to your flow. The acronym LORRAX, which stands for Listen, Open, Reflect, Release, Act, and X Repeat, refers to this procedure. Let's dissect it. Consider a young businesswoman named Sarah who is driven to launch her line of sustainable clothing. She is feeling overburdened by the choices she must make, including selecting the ideal venue, locating ethical materials, and making the appropriate connections. She decides to try the LORRAX procedure after learning about it. She achieves a feeling of flow by doing this. Sarah starts by paying attention to her gut feeling and identifying what feels correct. After visiting several places, she eventually finds one that fits her vision. She decides to open her store there since she believes in her instincts. However, Sarah also decides to have a flexible attitude and to keep her options open. She considers alternate options for her store, including partnering with regional craftsmen and providing internet shopping. She then considers the chances she has already had, such as a fortuitous contact with a sustainable fabric source at a trade exhibition. She can perceive the significant coincidences taking place all around her thanks to this reflection, which helps her recognize that she is on the correct track. Then it's time to take action. She accomplishes this by making her decisions and plans official. She leases the space for the store, purchases supplies from a sustainable vendor, and opens her online store. This gets us to the procedure's final step. Repeat. This section serves as a reminder that life is a never-ending series of these actions. We are always somewhere in this cycle, and occasionally, we experience jarring circumstances that startle us. Let's call these life shocks. Anything from a coworker's casual remark to a dramatic change in our personal life could qualify as one of them. These life shocks can knock us off our feet, and we might start to question why we're feeling so down. However, the LORRAX technique can help us manage these life shocks more skillfully and keep us in that blissful state of flow if we consistently practice it. Try the LORRAX technique to explore how it can improve your relationship with the flow and help you make the most of those special times in your own life. Overcoming your anxieties and revealing your true self. Everybody has many worries in life, some major and others were tiny. Have you ever considered how your behavior in the world might be impacted by these fears? Perhaps you act and make decisions in specific ways to stay out of awkward situations. What if, though, there was a version of you that was courageous, sincere, and profoundly in tune with who you were? We now arrive at the idea of authenticity, being true to oneself, embracing one's individuality, and leading a life by one's principles are things we all aspire to. But difficulties occasionally arise, particularly when fear is present. Imagine that if no other influences were pressuring you to be different, you would be your true self. Amazing, isn't it? Let's examine the idea of ego habits to assist you to find your true self. What then are ego habits? In essence, they are the ingrained anxieties that prevent you from becoming who you truly are. Have you ever held back at a meeting even if you had something to say because you were unsure of yourself? It's an egotistical habit. Even though it may make you feel secure, it won't allow you to advance. Let's now discuss the differences between irrational worries that hold you back and productive anxieties that motivate you to move forward. The motivation to push past reluctance and complete tasks might originate from helpful anxiety, such as the fear of missing a deadline. Ego habits, on the other hand, are unfounded anxieties that frequently result in hiding your genuine identity. Are you prepared to confront your ego-based habits? Here is a useful practice to help you retrain your body to react less strongly to those fictitious anxieties. The next time you experience a fear that prevents you from acting, gather the confidence to proceed anyhow. Then, assess if your fear materialized or not by looking back. If it didn't, close your eyes and picture yourself returning to that terrifying moment. Allow yourself to experience it, but then reassure yourself that nothing negative occurred. You can train your body to stop producing stress hormones by combining the sense of terror with the realization that there was no problem at all. It's an effective technique that will teach you to automatically disregard your fictitious anxieties. Whenever you perform this exercise, be careful to record your results in a journal. You'll gradually accumulate more proof that your pessimistic predictions of the future aren't always correct. Additionally, keep in mind that when you decide to confront a negative side of yourself, it may come to the fore. As a result, be ready for numerous opportunities to put your new way of being into practice. In the end, the more anxieties you conquer, the more of your true self will show, enabling you to lead a more authentic and satisfying life.